Here is how you can get results like this for your clients using cold email outreach. I remember my first time ever signing a client. It was honestly one of the best feelings in the world. They were a web design agency that helped companies do revamps of their website using UX UI design and all of that good stuff. But the catch here with this client was that they committed nothing to work with me at all. They basically said, hey, you said that we have to pay a setup fee to set up all the cold emails, but here's the thing, we have a bunch of domains, we'll just set it up for you and let you access it so that we'll only pay you if you book us qualified meetings. We'll pay you $200 for a qualified meeting. Now my desperate ass, having no clients at this time, was like, okay, that sounds like a great idea. I know you don't want to pay the setup fee, let's just do it. Let's do it. Now for all you beginners, do not do this. This is a horrible idea. Try your absolute best to get some type of commitment, some type of payment, some type of setup fee from your clients, even if it's as little as $200 to $300, just to make sure that they're committed to working with you. But anyway, my desperate ass was like, I'm open to it, let's do it. I want to accept it, I just want to start it. Now let me tell you something, selling web design as a service is extremely hard because most companies don't always need a revamp of their website. Think of all the websites that you go to, all the companies where you buy stuff, whether it's clothes, whether it's food. Think about how many times they've actually changed their whole website overall. It's more than likely that it's not many. So web design, selling it as a service is extremely hard. It can be done, but for a beginner, it's extremely hard. But I was confident. I just signed my first ever client, technically, even if there's no payment. But I was like, what could go wrong? This is how I do it. This is my story, and I'm going to do it right. So after months and months of trials and tribulations, of writing copy, pulling leads, adjusting scripts and whatnot, I booked them a grand total of 0 qualified meetings. So picture this from the point of view from the web design agency. There's a guy that cold emails you, you hop on a call with them, and he's like, hey, I'll book you guys 10 qualified meetings every single month, and you only pay us for qualified meetings. And you decided to start working with him, but after months of working with him, he books you genuinely 0 qualified sales meetings. It was honestly a horrible experience, but I'm really grateful that I actually went through this because it taught me a lot about failure and service delivery overall. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to avoid something like this happening to you and show you how you can print meetings for your clients on autopilot. The process that I'm going to be showing you today is what I like to call my 3-step service delivery framework. Now, step number 1 is research. Now, after you successfully reeled in a client and actually signed them, what your job is to do now is hop on an onboarding call with them. Now, on this onboarding call, you basically have to play the role of a detective and ask them a bunch of questions that pertains to what service are they selling, who did they sell to, what case studies do they have, and whatnot. Remember how in the discovery call, your job was to ask the prospect a bunch of questions to see if they're actually qualified to work with you? This is basically the same thing, but except you want to ask them more about their service and why they do certain things. So essentially, you want to hop on the call and say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Client, on this call, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. So please just make sure to answer my questions in depth so that we can have a better and easier time writing these cold emails and coming up with new angles and offers for your service. You're basically building the blueprint for your offer here. So you have to ask important questions about why they do certain things and why they work the way that they do. First things first, you want to ask them, okay, so what exact services do you offer and to whom? And you want to go again more in depth here. Now let's say for this example that they're offering Google ads to realtors. And this will be the example that I go with for the rest of the video. But anyways, they're offering Google ads to realtors, for example. You want to next ask them, okay, what are the end result and benefits that your client gets by working with you? In what time frame? Now again, they'll answer something like, oh, well, the realtors will get a increase in sales, increase in revenue, increase in leads, etc., etc. You get the point. And for the time frame, we typically see results in about 90 days. For example, in this case, your client could say something else, of course. And then you say, okay, so what pain points do you solve for your clients? How do you solve them? This is kind of like their unique value proposition. How do they stand out compared to most of the other competition in their market? They'll say something like, well, we handle all of the tracking and testing so that the real estate agent or realtor doesn't really have to lift a finger on their ads. Now, if you don't get an answer like that or something similar, something that makes them stand out, just ask them, okay, is there anything that makes you stand out compared to all your competitors? And they'll probably find a thing that they do that makes them unique. Then you ask them, okay, can I see your best case studies along with a example of a current client? Then you look at the case study and then you ask them, okay, what did you really help them with? How did you help them? What was the end result that this person got by working with you? They could say something like, well, we helped this real estate agent sell a $600,000 home. It's like, oh, okay, that's awesome. How long did you work with them? Oh, well, it was about 3 months. Boom, just like that. After this call, you want to again do more research on the market that your client is trying to target. So what I would do is go into ChatGPT and ask it, for example, in the real estate, what problems do real estate agents face when it comes to Google ads? For you, just put whatever your service your client offers and whatever market your client is trying to target, and ChatGPT will give you some pain points that your market faces when it comes to the service that your client is trying to offer. So for example, in this case, ChatGPT might say the same thing as your client. They might say, well, real estate agents, they don't really have time to manage the ads, they don't know how to track it, and overall they're just too busy. That could be a pain point that you write down for your offer. But it doesn't end just there. If you want to take it a step further, what you want to do is join communities where your target market resides. In this example, what I could do is join a Facebook group of realtors or just browse through a real estate sub-community on Reddit. This way, what you'll be doing is speaking directly to the market that you want to target, and you can ask them questions like, hey, Mr. Realtor, have you tried Google Ads in the past? How did it work out for you? What were some pain points that you had? Did you like it or did you not? And you can get a lot of good info on here just by joining community groups that your target market resides in. So my best advice to you would be just to join community groups, whether it's Facebook, or just browse through Reddit for whatever community that you're trying to target, and you can draw a lot of information out from that. Now that you've done your research, it's time to brainstorm the best angles for your offer. You want to imagine that whenever you're sending this cold email out to your target market, they can easily click on it and read it and be like, dang, this guy has done his research. He knows exactly what I want, along with whatever pain points that I faced in the past. This is a good email. This guy understands me, and they become interested and actually book a meeting with your client. Now, when it comes to offers, the three main offers you'll see in any market is increasing in money, saving money, or saving time. In this example with the Google Ads to realtors, it will be increasing revenue or money. Now, as for the angle, at least for this offer, there's easily 4 off the top of my head that I can think of. You can pitch to these realtors an increase in revenue, increase in sales, there is a difference, an increase in leads, or an increase in houses closed or deals closed for realtors. Now, for your angles, it can be different. So again, do more research and find what exactly does your target market want. But for the real estate example, these 4 would probably work really, really well. But again, you can only get these angles after you've done a good amount of research. Now, let's tap into the pain points of your offer. In this example of realtors, we can just say that they don't have to lift a finger or manage or touch the ads at all. For you, it could be something different depending on your market or whatever your client's unique value proposition is, or whatever pain points that your clients solve. So again, ask your client and do more research. In the end, you'll come up with a offer that could sound something like this. Here's an example for the real estate one. We help real estate agents increase their revenue by 25% in 3 months or less with our done-for-you ads so that you don't have to lift a finger. Then after that, you can attach the case study that your client had. In this example, again, we recently helped a real estate agent sell a $600,000 home in just 3 months with our ads. Boom, just like that, you have a good offer backed up by a good case study. What you need to do here is essentially come up with different angles. Brainstorm 5, 10, 15 if you have to. Pick the best 3 to test. Now, the last step, speaking of test, is to simply test and iterate the angles that work the best. The last step here is to just launch the campaign and keep testing with stuff and scale what works. Out of those 3 angles that you pick, one of those do really, really well. Well, obviously the answer here is to just cancel out the other 2 angles and just scale that one particular offer to the moon. But more than likely, there's a good chance that what you'll end up having is one angle that works semi well and 2 others that don't really work as well. That's the more than likely shot here. So what you need to do is, again, test, do more research, and iterate. Always be doing research until you get an angle that works. And once you get that angle, just like I said, scale that one to the moon. Now, service delivery is easily the hardest part about a lead generation agency, but I promise you, over time, you'll start to get really, really good at it. It is challenging, but after you find that 1 or 2 angles that works, whatever market you want to target, you'll reap the rewards of your labor and just print meetings for your clients. With that being said, if you are a marketing agency owner and you want to work with me specifically and help and let me install this system into your agency, click the link below to book a call with me and we'll see if we are a good fit to work together. Other than that, that's all I had to say in this video. I'll see you all in the next one. The rest of the